Everyone stop!
What happened? He happened.
Why is security at the door? Because this ends tonight.
Tonight. Then be accurate. His daughter's calling.
He was supposed to leave.
Keep the line stopped. Sir, give me the phone. No. Why is he so calm? Because they still have time to tell the truth.
Hand over your badge. State the reason.
You don't set the terms, then read the record. This has already been decided.
Before the meeting, you're finished. They planned this.
Sir, step toward the exit. Seal both pieces.
More than you think. Is that a threat? Just leave quietly.
You made it public.
Walk him out.
Someone say something.
They'll fire us too.
I'm recording. Don't let them see. Put that tablet away.
Keep it offline.
Who are you?
Dad, they called my row.
Who are you calling? Legal. Are you invoking emergency authority?
Names.
Every executive. What did he do? Why are the screens changing?
Preserve everything.
The entire warehouse went silent when the site director tore Marcus Hale's badge in half and ordered security to walk him out. His 12-year-old daughter was waiting across town for the father-daughter ceremony he had promised not to miss. Why would 3 executives humiliate a quiet maintenance worker in front of 200 employees? Why did Marcus keep calm when they erased his record and mocked his final warning? And who answered when he stepped into the rain, opened an old contact, and said, "Fire every one of them"? The people inside thought they had ended his career. Before midnight, they would learn whose company they had been running. The loading bay door slammed behind Marcus, and the warehouse noise collapsed into the hiss of rain. Owen Marsh stopped beneath the yellow security light. "I need the badge." Marcus opened his hand. 2 broken halves lay across his palm, the split running through his photograph. "You saw him tear it." "I still have to log it." "Then log both pieces." Cold water slipped into the collar of Marcus's gray work jacket. Beyond the glass, nearly 200 employees remained. No one came forward. Ethan Briggs stared at the floor. A woman crushed a paper cup in both hands. Owen sealed the badge in a clear envelope. Appeal through Human Resources. Dana signed it. Regional, then. Victoria approved it. Owen's grip loosened. "I'm sorry about your daughter." Marcus checked his phone. 8:11 p.m. 4 missed calls from Ava. Beneath them waited a photograph of a folding chair under white auditorium lights. A card taped to its back read, "Dad." Rain hammered the awning. His thumb stayed over the picture until the screen dimmed. "I need 5 minutes." "You're not allowed on the property." Marcus glanced at the red stripe beneath his boots. "I'm outside it." Owen stepped back. Marcus opened a protected contact stored under one letter. Rachel Sloan answered before the second ring. "Marcus? Preserve Hub 7. Her chair scraped. "Say that again." "Freeze deletion rights, mirror maintenance logs, payroll adjustments, camera files, and every complaint closed this year." "Are you invoking emergency authority?" "Yes." "On whose recommendation?" "Mine." Keyboard clicks filled the line. "Once I start this," Rachel said, "the board is notified." "They should be." "And local leadership will know someone intervened." "They already believe no one will." Through the glass, Nolan spoke rapidly to Victoria and Dana. He noticed Marcus, smiled, and tapped his own badge. Rachel lowered her voice. "What happened?" "They altered safety records, buried wage complaints. Tonight they tried to make me sign a false statement." "Copies?" "Some." "Witnesses?" "Enough, if you protect them." "And your termination?" "Public." "Names?" "Nolan Price, Victoria Crane, Dana Kessler." "All 3 there?" "Yes." "Stay reachable. Do not re-enter." "I wasn't planning to." Every monitor above the shipping floor blinked. Nolan stopped speaking. Victoria pulled out her phone. Dana hurried toward the offices, her heels striking concrete. "Administrative access is suspended," Rachel said. "Worker time records are locked. I'm calling Adrian Cole." "Keep the hourly staff paid if operations stop." "I know." "Put it in the order." More typing. "Done." Owen approached slowly. What did you do? Preserved records. Who are you? Marcus's phone vibrated before he answered. Ava had left a voice message. He pressed play. Applause sounded first, then the squeal of a school microphone. His daughter whispered, trying to steady her voice. Dad, they already called my row. I told them you were parking. An adult announced her name in the background. Marcus looked at the envelope holding his broken badge. On Ava's message screen was a tiny gold star. 36 hours earlier, that same star had been stuck to his kitchen table. Hold still, Ava said, pressing the golden star onto her project board. Marcus bent over the kitchen table. The stove hood lit scissors, glue, and cereal crumbs. It's crooked. It's artistic. It's falling off. You're breathing on it. A drop of maple syrup slid from his plate onto one point of the star. Dad, I saw it. You ruined the galaxy. It's one star. It's the main star. Marcus blotted the syrup, but the paper darkened. Ava studied it. Leave it. Now it looks real. Rain tapped the glass. He checked the clock. 6:42 a.m. You remember tonight? Ava asked. 7:30. Front row. And no work calls. No work calls. She narrowed her eyes. You said that before the science fair. I know. You came after they packed the volcano. A photograph behind the refrigerator schedule showed Lena laughing. Marcus set it beside Ava's project. This time, your chair won't be empty. Ava pressed the star down with both thumbs. Okay. At 7:03, Marcus zipped his gray work jacket and checked the envelope in his bag. It held a maintenance form. Beneath it rested a black access card with no job title. You're doing the mysterious face. What face? The one where you know something everyone else doesn't. He tied her shoelace. Maybe everyone else should read more. She placed the syrup-marked star in his palm. For luck. It belongs on the board. I made another. He tucked it into his pocket. At the bus stop, exhaust hung low in the cold air. Ava climbed the steps, then turned. 7:30. Front row. The doors folded shut. By 8:16, Rachel Sloan was calling through his dashboard. You still intend to finish the placement? 4 days left. Adrian wants your findings. He'll get facts. You found altered payroll codes and maintenance gaps. Pull out. Not yet. You own the company. You don't need to prove endurance. I'm not proving mine. What are you proving? That people speak differently when they think the man holding the wrench cannot hurt them. She went quiet. Be careful. Marcus touched the paper star. I have somewhere to be tonight. Hub 7 appeared beyond the overpass. Workers hurried toward the employee entrance. A black sedan passed them and stopped beside the executive doors. Nolan Price stepped out and went inside without looking at the soaked employees. At the scanner, Ethan Briggs stood beneath a leaking awning. Morning, Marcus said. Depends who you ask. The scanner flashed red for a woman ahead of them. System's slow, Ethan muttered. Or selective. Ethan glanced toward the executive doors. Keep your head down today. Why? Nolan's holding an all-shift briefing. About what? No one knows. Her badge turned green. Beside the scanner, a notice read, Mandatory post-shift equipment checks. Unpaid until further review. Marcus lifted one corner and found an older notice beneath it, signed by Dana Kessler. Ethan caught his wrist. Don't. Marcus looked at the hand. Ethan released it. 7 months, he whispered. That's all I need. The golden star pressed against Marcus's chest as the scanner accepted his badge. Beyond the doors, a warning light blinked above Conveyor 4, half covered by gray tape. The warning light blinked twice, then disappeared behind gray tape. Marcus stopped at conveyor 4. Cold air moved across the floor. The air smelled of hot rubber. Ethan walked 3 steps before turning. "You didn't see that?" "I saw someone cover it. It's been intermittent." "Who cleared it?" Ethan glanced toward the glass offices. "The log says I did." "Did you?" "I need 7 more months," Ethan said. "That wasn't my question." His jaw tightened. Nolan said the replacement could wait. At 8:40, Nolan Price stepped onto the platform beside the production board. "Gather in. We broke the regional record yesterday." Thin applause followed. Nolan pointed to a green number. 14,000 units. That is commitment. A packer near Marcus rubbed both wrists before clapping. Another worker looked from the clock to the unpaid checks notice. Nolan noticed Marcus. "Something to add? Temporary?" "Were the sensor failures included?" The applause died. "Name?" "Marcus Hale." "Maintenance concerns go through your supervisor. Performance discussions are for permanent staff." Marcus nodded toward conveyor 4. "The warning indicator is covered." Several heads turned. Nolan came down from the platform. "That machine was cleared." "By whom?" "You're outside your assignment." "I'm asking before someone signs another man's name." The belt squealed. Leah Ortiz crossed the aisle with a tablet, a red pen threaded through her dark braid. "What's happening?" she asked. "Your technician is delaying startup," Nolan said. "Was this on last night's handoff?" Marcus asked. Leah opened the report. Her thumb stopped. "It says repaired at 2:10 a.m. Ethan looked down. "I signed this at 1:55, Leah said. Nolan held out his hand. "Give me the tablet." She did not move. "Administrative correction." "By whom?" Marcus asked. Nolan's smile flattened. "Do the work you were hired to do." At 9:06, Marcus entered the maintenance office. A fluorescent tube buzzed above steel cabinets. The service ledger lay on the desk, its pages warm from the copier. The conveyor 4 entry carried Ethan's blue signature. Beneath it, pressure marks from an older sentence dented the paper. Marcus tilted the page toward the light. "Fault active. Replacement required." The ink was gone, but the words remained. Ethan appeared in the doorway. "Put that down." "Who changed it?" "No one changed anything." Marcus placed a blank sheet over the entry and rubbed a pencil sideways. The hidden sentence surfaced in gray. Ethan shut the door. "You don't understand this place." "I understand signatures." "Nolan reports to people who want numbers, not delays." "Give me their names." "And when they fire me?" Marcus folded the rubbing and slipped it inside his jacket. "They won't know it came from you." "You can't promise that." "No, but I can promise the record won't disappear." Outside, Leah's tablet chimed. "Marcus," she called, "Nolan wants you in Conference B." Ethan's face lost color. "They don't call temporary workers into Conference B." Marcus reached for the handle. "Today they do." As he stepped into the corridor, the warning light began blinking through the tape again. Conference B smelled of burnt coffee and printer heat. Nolan stood at the window with Leah's tablet. Ethan waited by the door. A vent rattled above them. "Sit down, Marcus." "I'll stand." Nolan tapped the screen. "You challenged me in front of the shift. I asked who cleared a fault. You implied fraud. I asked for a name." Leah folded her arms. "The repair entry appeared after my handoff." "You're here to observe," Nolan said. Marcus placed the pencil rubbing beside a fresh copy of the maintenance log. Ethan stared at the gray words showing through the paper. "That proves nothing," Nolan said. "It proves there was another entry." "It proves you damaged a document." "I never touched the original with ink." "You're a temporary technician. Your job is to keep equipment moving. My job is to record what it says. Nolan looked at Ethan. And your supervisor signed the repair. Marcus turned to him. Did you write fault active? Ethan tried to undo his top button, but his fingers slipped twice. Nolan, Leah said, let him answer. The signature on the copy was bright blue, still glossy at one edge. Beneath it, the old sentence had pressed grooves into the page. Marcus moved the sheet toward Ethan. Is that your ink? Ethan's lips parted. Nolan covered the log. Careful. The word came softly. Ethan sat. I signed a completion sheet. For this repair? For a stack Nolan gave me. When? After midnight. Leah frowned. The system says 2:10. I left at 1:40. Nolan reached for the rubbing. Marcus folded it and slipped it inside his jacket. You're removed from maintenance review, Nolan said. On what basis? Insubordination. Put it in writing. Nolan opened the door. Go reset conveyor 4 and clear the indicator. The sensor needs replacement. It needs a reset. Give me the order in writing. His smile vanished. You think paper protects you? No, it protects the next person you blame. Leah looked away, but Marcus saw her press the side button on her tablet. At 10:18, he and Ethan returned to the conveyor. The steel housing trembled under Marcus's palm. Behind the tape, the red pulse came unevenly. I shouldn't have spoken, Ethan said. You told the truth. That doesn't pay my mortgage. Marcus peeled back the tape. Red light washed across Ethan's face. 7 months, Ethan whispered. Then I'm done. Marcus photographed the indicator and serial plate. A radio crackled on Leah's belt. Nolan's voice cut through the static. Restart 4. Maintenance hasn't cleared it, Leah answered. I just did. Marcus held out his hand. Your tablet. She hesitated, then passed it over. The completion field read 10:20, 2 minutes in the future, and carried Ethan's digital initials. I didn't enter that, Ethan said. The belt jerked, though no one had touched the controls. Empty bins rattled along the rail. Marcus pressed the red stop switch. Motors wound down, leaving only the ticking relay inside the panel. Workers turned toward him. Leah checked the clock. Nolan will call this sabotage. Marcus gave back the tablet. Then he can explain why the repair was finished before we made it. The last bin rolled 6 feet and stopped with a plastic knock. For one breath, Hub 7 held only rain against the high windows and the relay clicking inside conveyor 4. Then Nolan's voice burst from Leah's radio. Restart it, now. Marcus kept one hand on the red stop switch. Send the order. I just gave it. In writing. Workers along the line turned, scanners frozen over labels. Nolan came down the aisle at 10:22. Do you know what 7 minutes costs this facility? Leah checked her tablet. We're at 43 seconds. We'll reach 7 because he wants an audience. Marcus touched the vibrating panel. The repair entry was filed before inspection. That is not your concern. It became mine when the conveyor started without clearance. Nolan stepped close enough for Marcus to smell peppermint over stale coffee. Move your hand. Put your name on the restart. My name is already on this building. No, it's on the door. A scanner beeped behind them, then another. Nolan turned to Leah. Override him. She did not reach for the controls. Maintenance hasn't released the line. I am releasing it. Then authorize the override in the shift record. His jaw tightened. The production clock changed to 03:17. Nolan raised his voice. Everyone listening. This is what happens when temporary labor mistakes caution for authority. One person decides his feelings matter more than 200 paychecks. Most workers looked at the floor. Marcus said, "Are they paid for equipment checks after clockout?" The aisle went still. "That has nothing to do with this." "Then answer it." Nolan pointed at the button. "Restart the line." In writing. At 0541, Ethan arrived carrying a replacement sensor in a torn box. "I found one in storage," he said. Nolan stared at him. "There was no replacement." "There is now." Marcus opened the box. The seal was unbroken. The manufacture date was 8 months old. "How long has that been here?" Leah asked. "Since winter." Nolan folded the flap over the label. "Install it after shift. Restart now." Marcus stepped back. "Why wait?" "Because every minute costs money." The clock reached 0703. Nolan slapped the reset. Nothing happened. An amber indicator lit beneath the panel. Lockout. Service required. Ethan knelt and loosened the housing screws. Marcus held the flashlight while warm air smelling of rubber drifted from the vents. Leah stood nearby, her tablet against her vest. Nolan noticed. "What are you doing?" "Closing the shift report." "Delete the stoppage note." "The system won't let me." "Start a new report." Leah's thumb hovered. "Already saved." "You think that protects you?" Marcus aimed the light toward the wiring. "It protects the record." At 10:31, Conveyor 4 restarted with a smooth hum. Workers returned to their stations, but people watched Nolan now. His radio crackled. "Mr. Price," a receptionist said, "Regional Vice President Crane has arrived early. She brought human resources." Nolan's face settled into a smile that did not reach his eyes. "Conference room?" he told Marcus. "All shift meeting in 20 minutes. Behind him, Leah moved the saved report into an offline folder and locked the screen. At 10:51, the warehouse chime sounded 3 times. Workers gathered between the loading lanes. Conveyor 4 ran with its new sensor. Nolan stood on a portable platform beside Victoria Crane and Dana Kessler. Victoria's cream coat was buttoned. Dana held a gray folder against her ribs. "Closer," Nolan called. "This concerns everyone." Marcus remained near the back. Leah stood beside him with her locked tablet. Ethan took a paper cup and crushed its rim without drinking. Nolan lifted a microphone. "This facility lost 7 minutes because one temporary worker ignored direct instructions." Heads turned toward Marcus. Victoria smiled. 7 minutes becomes missed orders. Missed orders become lost jobs." "The line required service," Leah said. "You were not invited to speak," Nolan replied. Donna opened the folder. His employee number topped the page. Victoria pointed at him. "Come forward." He crossed the space the crowd made. The air smelled of cardboard dust and burnt coffee. Nolan said, "Tell them your role." "Maintenance technician." "Temporary maintenance technician." "For this assignment." "And who authorized you to stop production?" "The service lockout did." Workers murmured. Nolan held up Leah's report. "Mr. Hale challenged supervisors, photographed documents, and interfered with output." Marcus looked at Donna. "Did you review the altered repair time?" "This meeting is about conduct." "Whose?" Dana tightened her grip on the folder. Victoria stepped closer. "People like you confuse being noticed with being important." Ethan's cup folded with a dry crack. "You have something to say?" Nolan asked. Ethan smoothed it against his thigh. "No, sir." "Exactly. Most people here understand their place." Marcus said, "Does that place include unpaid work after clockout?" Someone whispered. He saw the notice. Dinah closed the folder. "Those hours are under review." "For how long?" "Don't turn this into a performance," Victoria said. "You called 200 people away from their stations." The microphone squealed in Nolan's hand. You think calm makes you untouchable? No. Then apologize to this shift. For replacing a failed sensor? For undermining leadership. A packer lowered her scanner. An older worker removed his cap but said nothing. Leah's thumb pressed the edge of her tablet. I won't sign a false repair, Marcus said, and I won't apologize for stopping equipment that locked itself out. A forklift beeped. Victoria nodded to Dana. Begin separation. Dana hesitated. We haven't completed the interview. We're completing it now. Leah stepped forward. The report is time-stamped. So is the replacement. Nolan pointed at her. Interrupt again, and you join him. She stayed beside Marcus. He checked the wall clock. 11:04. 8 hours and 26 minutes until Ava's ceremony. Dinah removed a document. Conference B noon. You may respond formally. Will the maintenance log be there? This is your final warning. Nolan raised the microphone. No individual is bigger than Hub 7. Ethan placed the flattened cup beside Marcus's boot. On its white side, in trembling blue ink, he had written, I changed the log. Marcus picked up the flattened cup and folded it before Nolan could see the words. Conference B. Now, Dana said. The crowd opened. No one spoke. Conveyor 4 hummed behind them while the overhead lights made the silence feel louder. Leah caught Marcus's sleeve. I saved the report. Keep it off the network. Dana turned. What did he say? That I should bring my tablet, Leah replied. You're not part of this meeting. Then, neither is my report. Victoria's heels clicked toward the offices. Mr. Hale has 10 minutes to decide whether he wants a future here. Marcus slipped the cup into his jacket beside Ava's paper star and followed. Conference B was colder than the warehouse floor. A vent pushed dry air across a polished table. Dana placed a 6-page document in front of him and rotated a black pen so the clip faced his hand. Read carefully, she said. This preserves your position. The first page called the shutdown unauthorized. The second accused him of creating panic. By page 4, he was admitting he had misunderstood maintenance protocol. Marcus turned to the final sheet. It was blank, except for a signature line. What goes here? Donna adjusted the folder. Supporting incidents if needed. Incidents that haven't happened? Standard language. He looked at the pen. Its cap had never been opened. Victoria stood by the glass wall. Sign, finish your shift, and this disappears. Does the altered log disappear too? Nolan leaned forward. You are in no position to negotiate. I'm not negotiating. Then sign. Marcus slid the pages back. Remove the false statements. Donna's voice softened. You have a daughter, don't you? His eyes lifted. I reviewed your emergency contact form, she continued. Single income. No second guardian listed. Think about what refusing this costs. The vent clicked off. For a moment, only the wall clock moved. Leave her out of it, Marcus said. I'm trying to protect you. No, you're measuring how much pressure I can absorb. Dana's hand stopped above the folder. Victoria checked her watch. Your request to leave at 6:30 is denied. It was approved last week. Operational needs changed. My daughter's ceremony starts at 7:30. Nolan smiled toward the glass. Then you should have thought about that before stopping my line. Marcus took out his phone. The calendar entry showed Ava, front row, 7:30 p.m. Donna lowered her voice. Sign, and I can revisit the schedule. He turned the pen once, then set it down exactly where it had been. No. Nolan opened the door. Warm warehouse air carried in the smell of cardboard and machine oil. Then we'll address this publicly at 7:30, he said. Full shift. Same platform. Dana looked at him. That isn't necessary. It is now. Victoria gathered the unsigned pages. You remain on duty until the meeting. No calls, no early departure, no access to maintenance records. Marcus stood. Put that in writing, too. Nolan laughed once. You still think paper will save you? Marcus touched the folded cup inside his jacket. No, he said, but it may save someone else. As he stepped into the corridor, his phone vibrated with a message from Ava. I saved you the chair. At 7:26 p.m., the warehouse chime sounded 3 times. Marcus stood beneath the platform. Ava's message glowed beneath his thumb. I saved you the chair. Nolan took the microphone. Everyone stop. Conveyors slowed. Forklifts settled with hydraulic sighs. Cold air rolled through the loading doors, carrying rain and diesel into the aisle. Victoria stood beside Dana. Owen Marsh waited near the exit with an evidence envelope. Nolan looked down at Marcus. You were given a final opportunity. To sign a false statement. To accept responsibility. For a repair completed before it happened? A murmur moved through the shift. Dana opened the gray folder. Marcus Hale, your assignment is terminated immediately for insubordination, interference with operations, and refusal to follow corrective procedure. Leah raised her tablet. The timestamps contradict that. Victoria pointed at her. Put it away. No. The word landed harder than a shout. Nolan stepped down. Badge! Marcus removed it from his jacket. Owen reached for it, but Nolan took it first. You wanted paper to protect you? Nolan asked. He bent the badge until the plastic snapped. One half struck Marcus's boot. No one moved. A scanner beeped somewhere in the silent line. Once, then again. Marcus crouched, picked up the broken half, and placed both pieces in Owen's hand. Log both. Nolan lifted the microphone. This is what accountability looks like. Marcus looked past him at 200 faces. Leah kept her tablet raised. Ethan stared at the floor. A packer wiped both palms on her vest and turned away. At 7:31, across town, Ava waited behind a blue curtain while applause rolled through the school auditorium. Your father is in the front row? Her teacher whispered. He's parking. The curtain smelled of dust and hot stage lights. Ava walked out, carrying her project. In the first row, a folding chair bore a white card marked Dad. It was empty. She gave her presentation without looking at it again. Outside Hub 7, rain struck the metal awning like gravel. Owen sealed the badge pieces inside the envelope. You can appeal, he said. Dana signed it. Regional, then. Victoria approved it. Owen lowered his eyes. I'm sorry. Marcus checked his phone. 4 missed calls. Then a photograph arrived. The empty chair beneath the auditorium lights. Ava's gold star resting on the seat. His fingers would not open his jacket zipper. He tried twice before pulling the paper star from his pocket. A voice message followed. Dad, they called my row. I told them you were parking. Someone announced her name in the background. Applause rose, then the recording ended. Marcus sat on the wet concrete barrier. Cold soaked through his work pants. He held the phone against his forehead. Leah appeared behind the glass doors, but Owen blocked her path. Marcus, she called. I have the recording. He looked at the protected contact on his screen. 1 letter. R. His thumb hovered over it. A call could restore a job, expose a lie, perhaps empty 3 offices before morning. It could not fill the chair in Ava's photograph. He nearly locked the phone. Then Nolan pointed at Leah's tablet and ordered Owen to take it. Marcus pressed call. Rachel answered before the second ring. Marcus! Rain hissed off the awning. Through the glass, Owen reached for Leah's tablet. Preserve Hub 7, Marcus said. Rachel's chair scraped. Say that again. Freeze deletion rights, mirror maintenance logs, payroll changes, camera files, and every complaint closed this year. Are you invoking emergency authority? Yes. On whose recommendation? Mine? Keys began clicking. Nolan pointed toward the security desk. Owen hesitated between him and Leah. Once I start this, the board is notified, Rachel said. They should be. And local leadership will know someone intervened. They already believe no one will. Ava's gold star softened in Marcus's wet palm. He folded it once, then stopped. What happened? Rachel asked. They altered service records, buried wage complaints, tried to force a false admission. Copies? Some. Witnesses? Enough if you protect them. Names. Nolan Price, Victoria Crane, Dana Kessler. All three there? Yes. Stay outside. I'm locking administrative access now. Inside, the screens blinked. Green charts vanished. Each monitor turned black, then filled with red words. Access suspended. Nolan froze beneath the platform. Victoria pulled out her phone. Dana hurried toward the offices, heels striking concrete. What did you do? Owen asked through the door. Marcus lowered the phone. Preserved records. Who are you? Rachel returned. Worker time data is locked. Email deletion disabled. Keep hourly payroll active if they stop operations. I drafted it. Put it in the order. A pause. Done. Leah held her tablet against her chest. Nolan demanded it again, but the screen had changed. Access suspended glowed across her face. Donna swiped her badge at the office door. Red light. She tried again. Red. Workers near Conveyor 4 slowed, watching the people who had ordered them to keep moving. I'm calling Adrian Cole, Rachel said. Tell him I need an emergency session. He'll ask whether you're ready to disclose your position. Not yet. You cannot stay hidden much longer. I only need the records safe. Owen stepped outside. Rain dotted his shoulders. Nolan says you sabotaged the network. I made one call. To whom? Marcus looked through the glass. Ethan had unfolded the crushed cup and was reading his confession. Leah stood beside him instead of surrendering the tablet. Owen followed his gaze. Am I supposed to remove them? No. That wasn't an answer. It's the only instruction I'm giving you. Owen studied him, then took his hand off the radio. At 8:17, every conveyor stopped in sequence. The sudden quiet left only rain, ventilation fans, and one scanner beeping unanswered. Rachel came back. Adrian is joining in 4 minutes. Legal hold is active. Good. Marcus, your daughter? He looked at the photograph of the empty chair. I missed it. Rachel said nothing. Then, I'm sorry. Marcus tucked the phone closer. Don't be sorry. Be exact. Through the glass, Nolan's office monitor changed again. Beneath access suspended appeared a second line. By order of the controlling shareholder. Nolan read it twice, then turned toward Marcus. The words on Nolan's monitor reflected in the glass. By order of the controlling shareholder. He strode toward Marcus, but Owen stepped between them. Move. I need to know who issued the lock, Owen said. You work for me. Tonight I work for the facility. Rachel texted, Room C. He looked at Leah. Keep the tablet offline. Nolan heard him. You don't give orders here. Marcus slid Ava's damp gold star into his pocket. Not to you. Room C was windowless. Owen unlocked it. Cold air blew from a vent, and the ceiling fan clicked once per turn. Rachel appeared on screen. Adrian Cole joined from a dark boardroom. Confirm identity, Adrian said. Marcus pressed his thumb to the scanner. Marcus Hale, 62.1% voting control. Adrian removed his glasses. Authority verified. Outside, Nolan struck the glass. Open this room. Owen stayed still. State the threat, Adrian said. Altered records, suppressed wage complaints, retaliation, evidence deletion. Basis? Marcus held Ethan's flattened cup to the camera, then Leah's report, and the future-dated repair entry. Rachel said, "The server mirror confirms deletion attempts began 3 minutes after his termination. Accounts? Price, Crane, and Kessler." Donna called through the door. "That isn't what happened." Marcus turned to Owen. "Separate rooms. No shared devices." Owen touched his radio. "Security, escort all 3 executives from the offices." Nolan stared at him. "You'll be unemployed by morning." Owen replied, "The cameras are preserving that too." Adrian leaned closer. "What action are you requesting?" Marcus checked the time. 8:24 ATTUM. Ava's ceremony would be ending. No new message waited. Immediate termination for everyone who signed the false order, altered records, or attempted deletion. Rachel's mouth tightened. "That may reach beyond this building." "Then follow it." "Suspension pending investigation?" Adrian asked. "No. Removal tonight will become public." They made their decision public. That is not proof. Marcus set the broken badge beside the scanner. "Then use what you mirrored." Rachel opened another window. Payroll codes filled the screen. Unpaid inspection blocks, closed complaints, discipline notices created minutes after reports. The fan clicked. Once, twice. "Rachel?" Adrian asked. "The records satisfy the emergency clause." Adrian faced Marcus. "State the instruction clearly." Marcus's voice stayed low. "Fire every one of them." Outside, Victoria stopped arguing. Donna lowered her folder. Nolan's face emptied behind the glass. Adrian nodded. Motion entered. "I support it." 2 more board windows opened. Approval marks appeared one by one. Rachel said, "Terminations effective at 8:31 p.m. Local access revoked. Independent audit begins tonight. Protect hourly pay. Already included. No retaliation against witnesses. Written into the hold." Owen opened the door. The warehouse had gone still. Nolan stood without his executive badge. "Who are you?" Marcus passed him without answering. His phone rang. AVA. He watched the name through 2 vibrations before accepting. "Dad?" "I'm here." A breath trembled through the speaker. Behind him, 3 office doors locked at the same time. "Dad?" Marcus stood between the locked office doors, rainwater cooling inside his collar. "I'm here." "You missed it." "I know." Behind him, Owen led Nolan away. Victoria argued with security. Dana held the gray folder against her chest. Ava's voice dropped. "Did work win again?" Marcus closed his eyes. "No," he said, "but I still lost tonight." Auditorium chairs scraped across the line. "Come home," she whispered. "I'm coming." At 8:07 the next morning, Marcus returned through the loading entrance in the same gray jacket and worn boots. Rachel Sloan walked beside him. Behind them came Miriam Voss, 45, head of the audit team, in silver-framed glasses. Owen scanned the envelope containing Marcus's broken badge. "You kept both halves," Marcus said. "You told me to log them." The warehouse smelled of cardboard, cold steel, and coffee. No music played. Workers gathered along the main aisle while every conveyor remained still. Leah stood near conveyor 4 with her tablet. Ethan held the flattened paper cup. "Are they really gone?" a packer asked. "Their employment ended last night," Rachel said. "The investigation continues." A side door opened. Adrian Cole entered, carrying a narrow black case, his white hair damp from rain. He stepped onto the platform where Marcus had been dismissed. "You deserve to know who has been working beside you," Adrian said. Murmurs moved through the aisle. Marcus remained on the floor. Adrian opened the case. Inside lay a gold access card. Marcus Hale founded North Star Fulfillment Group 18 years ago. He remains its controlling owner, holding 62.1% of voting authority. No one clapped. A scanner chirped somewhere in the quiet. Ethan stared at the cup. Leah's tablet slipped before she caught it. "You were testing us?" someone called. "No," Marcus said. "Then why wear a temporary badge?" "Because complaints kept disappearing before they reached the board." He climbed one step, stopping level with the first row. "For 6 weeks, I watched how people spoke when they believed the man holding the wrench had no power. I saw unpaid checks, altered logs, and good people learning to stay quiet." Ethan raised the crushed cup. "I changed the record." "You also told the truth when it could cost you." "Too late. Late is not the same as never." Adrian handed Marcus the gold card. Marcus placed it beside the 2 broken badge halves on a metal cart. The plastic clicked against steel. "This opens every door in the company," Adrian said. Marcus touched the temporary badge. "This one opened the right ones." Miriam tapped her first folder twice. "We begin with witness protection, payroll records, and maintenance logs," she said. "No supervisor will see testimony before our review." Leah stepped forward. "I have the meeting recording." Ethan set the cup beside her tablet. Then others moved. A packer brought screenshots. A forklift operator carried handwritten timesheets. One woman removed a folded complaint from inside her shoe. Marcus watched the line form toward Miriam's table. At the far end of the warehouse, Conveyor 4's new sensor blinked green. For the first time, no tape covered the light. Miriam placed 3 recorders in a row and pressed each red button. Name, role, and what you personally saw. The room smelled of toner and damp coats. Leah went first. "Leah Ortiz, night shift supervisor. I saved the stoppage report offline because Nolan ordered me to delete it." "Original timestamp?" "Yes." "The public meeting?" Leah opened a video. Nolan's voice filled the room. "Most people here understand their place." When it ended, only the fan moved. Marcus sat against the wall. Before him lay the 2 halves of his badge. Ethan entered with the flattened paper cup. "I signed repair sheets in batches," he said. "Sometimes after the work. Sometimes before." "Who instructed you?" His thumb rubbed the crushed rim. "Nolan." "Was Victoria aware?" "She said downtime made weak managers. Weak managers got replaced." By noon, the line reached the corridor. A packer brought photographs of employees beside clocks after unpaid checks. A forklift operator showed messages warning that complaints would affect his schedule. Another worker unfolded a discipline notice created 6 minutes after she reported missing wages. Samuel Grant compared the documents with recovered payroll codes. "These aren't isolated errors. Someone built a system." Rachel turned her laptop toward Marcus. Rows of deducted minutes filled the screen. "How much?" $1.8 million over 3 years. A chair scraped. Dana stood in the doorway without her gray folder. "I need to speak." "Through counsel," Rachel said. "I brought something counsel hasn't seen." Dana placed a blue binder on the table. Inside were complaint logs stamped closed, many bearing Victoria's initials. Several carried Donna's signature. Miriam switched on a 4th recorder. "Victoria ordered every complaint tied to production bonuses routed through me," Dana said. "I changed language, split related cases, and marked some resolved. "Why?" Samuel asked. I told myself procedure was neutral. Was it? No. Rachel turned a page. Did you draft Marcus Hale's termination before his final meeting? Yes. Before he refused the statement? Yes. Did you know the last page was blank? Dana pressed both palms to the table. Yes. The room tightened around the word. Why keep the binder? Miriam asked. Victoria told me to destroy it last night. Outside the glass, Leah raised her tablet. Ethan set the crushed cup beside it. Dana looked at them. I closed complaints from both of you. Neither replied. Marcus finally spoke. Will you identify every employee affected? Yes. Without asking for immunity? Her eyes dropped to the binder. Yes. At 2:14 p.m., Miriam opened the restored camera archive. One clip showed Nolan entering maintenance after Ethan left. Another showed Victoria moving complaint folders into a locked cabinet. Then a third file loaded. Dinah leaned forward. That room doesn't have a camera. It does now, Rachel said. The footage showed Nolan at 8:13 the previous night, trying to remove a black drive from the server cabinet. Miriam froze the frame. Who gave him the key? Dana stared at the screen. The key came from regional headquarters. The key came from regional headquarters. Dana's words stayed in the room while Nolan's frozen image filled the screen. Rachel leaned closer. Who issued it? Victoria's office. Emergency access. No electronic record. Miriam closed the laptop. Then this goes to the board. At 9 o'clock, rain blurred the windows. Nolan, Victoria, and Dana sat on one side. Marcus sat at the far end beside Rachel and Adrian. Miriam began without greeting. Recovered files show altered maintenance records, suppressed wage complaints, retaliation, and attempted removal of server evidence. Nolan shoved back his chair. I relied on department heads. If technicians entered bad data, that is on them. Ethan's recorded voice played. Nolan gave me the sheets. He said sign the stack or lose the pension schedule. He's protecting himself, Nolan said. Leah's video followed. Nolan's voice filled the room. Delete the stoppage note. Start a new report. When the clip ended, Marcus watched the black screen. The three former executives appeared as dim reflections, looking in different directions. Victoria spoke first. Those clips lack context. Rachel slid over a report. Your bonus rose when downtime fell. Complaints tied to output were closed under your authorization. I never told anyone to steal wages. You called unpaid post-shift checks discipline hours. Victoria looked at Donna. That phrase came from human resources. Donna kept both hands beside the blue binder. You dictated it. The ventilation clicked off. Rain tapped the glass. Adrian asked, Did you order the complaint files destroyed? Victoria waited 7 seconds. I ordered the archive cleaned. Destroyed? Her shoulders lowered. Yes. Nolan turned on her. You approved every metric. And you fed me numbers I wanted. You wanted the promotion. So did you. Marcus's broken badge lay before him, its halves unable to meet. Miriam opened the payroll analysis. $1.8 million was withheld over 3 years. Your office received weekly summaries. This facility would have closed without those numbers, Nolan said. Then why hide them? Marcus asked. You built a company that rewards results. I built one that was supposed to pay people for their time. Victoria removed her glasses. I stopped seeing names. Every delay became a threat. Every complaint became someone trying to ruin the quarter. That explains the choice, Rachel said. It does not erase it. I know. Donna opened the binder to a list of employees, some marked red, others blue. I want to notify them personally. You no longer represent the company, Rachel said. Then let me do it as the person who signed the letters. Marcus studied her. You will not ask for forgiveness. I won't. You will state the amount, repayment date, and appeal process. Yes. Someone independent will be present. Dana nodded. Adrian closed the folder. The terminations stand. Regulatory referrals will follow. Compensation notices begin today. The screen went dark. For a moment, the three former executives remained only as pale shapes in the glass. Nolan left first. Victoria followed. Dinah stayed long enough to pick up the first red-marked name. It was Leah Ortiz. Dinah read Leah's name twice before entering the temporary conference room. Leah sat across from her with Miriam beside her, the tablet face down. I closed 3 of your complaints, Dana said. The company will repay 46 hours, plus penalties. You may appeal. Leah did not touch the envelope. Why 3? 1 looked accidental. 3 looked like a pattern. And a pattern would have reached the board. Yes. The fluorescent light buzzed. Outside, forklifts moved at half speed, beeps softened by glass. Leah took the envelope. I don't forgive you. I didn't come for that. Good. By noon, Marcus had covered the executive table with documents. On top lay the old production scorecard, units per hour, idle minutes, disciplinary events. A red circle marked Hub 7's record. Rachel slid a new draft over it. Employee Protection Charter. Independent complaint line, she said. Paid inspection time. Outside review of discipline issued after a report. Samuel added, no maintenance closure can be altered without a second signature. Adrian tapped the compensation section. The repayment fund covers every affected worker. Marcus read the last page. What about bonuses? Production weighting drops to 40%, Rachel said. Remove it. Adrian frowned. Completely. Speed cannot stand alone. Use safety, retention, pay accuracy, and quality. That changes every regional contract. It should. Marcus placed the charter over the scorecard until only the red circle remained visible. At 2:30, the night shift gathered beside Conveyor 4. Leah stood on the platform, 1 step below Nolan's old mark. I've been asked to serve as interim director, she said. A worker called. Do you want it? Leah glanced at Marcus. I want the rules first. He raised the charter. These begin today. Complaints leave this building through an independent system. Equipment checks are paid. Retaliation triggers outside review. You will elect 5 workers to a council with access to audit summaries. Ethan lifted a hand. And if the next director ignores it? The council calls Rachel directly. What if Rachel leaves? Marcus looked across the warehouse. Then the system failed. The answer unsettled them more than a promise would have. He handed Leah the charter. She placed it on the metal cart where the broken badge had rested. This can't depend on you walking in with a wrench, she said. It won't. You're sure? No, that's why you test it. At 5:10, employees began voting for the council. Ethan declined nomination. I kept quiet too long, he told Marcus. That's why they nominated you. I changed the log. And then you wrote the truth on a paper cup. Ethan looked toward the flattened cup sealed in an evidence sleeve. 7 months, he said. Retire when you planned, not because someone frightened you into silence. Before leaving, Marcus stopped at the bulletin board. Someone had pinned the old scorecard there, folded so Nolan's record still showed. Marcus removed it. Underneath was Ava's gold star beside a handwritten note. We are not the number. He pinned the new charter over the scorecard, but the paper beneath was thick enough that its red circle still showed through. 6 months later, the loading doors of Hub 7 opened for families instead of trucks. Children carried cardboard bridges and painted planets between quiet conveyors. Cocoa and machine oil scented the air. Above the break room door hung Ava's gold paper star, the syrup stain dark on one point. Marcus stood beneath it in his gray work jacket while Leah adjusted a microphone. "You could wear a suit tonight," she said. "I own one." "That wasn't my question." He straightened the card on a folding chair marked Dad. "This is fine." Leah had become permanent director after the employee council approved her. Reports went to Rachel and an outside monitor. Equipment checks were paid, and post-complaint discipline triggered review. Ethan stopped beside Conveyor 4. Its green sensor blinked openly. 7 weeks, he said. "Until retirement?" Ethan nodded. "I thought I'd leave angry." "You still can." "I'm considering mildly annoyed." He had trained 2 younger technicians and signed every service log with both names. The flattened cup hung framed in the training room. First record preserved. At 6:15, Miriam posted the audit summary. More than 200 employees had received repayment and corrected leave balances. 3 other facilities had adopted the same protections. Nolan remained under review for falsifying records and trying to remove company data. Victoria's employment had ended. She was cooperating with investigators and undergoing accountability training. Donna had surrendered her credentials pending review and spent 3 supervised months delivering compensation notices to employees whose complaints she closed. Donna came without a folder. Leah met her near the entrance. "Are you asking for something?" "No." Donna looked up at the star. "I wanted to see the room." Leah stepped aside but did not offer her hand. At 7:28, families moved toward the stage. Ava waited behind a blue curtain with the project board she had carried the night Marcus was fired. Its repaired star had faded, but the syrup mark remained. Marcus sat in the first row. Lena's photograph rested in his palm. Ava peeked through the curtain. "You're early." "By 2 minutes." 6 months and 2 minutes. That sounds expensive." "It is." The lights dimmed. This time, when Ava's name was called, the chair marked Dad was occupied. She explained how damaged materials could be reused without hiding the damage. Halfway through, the microphone squealed. Ava steadied it and continued. After the applause, she found Marcus beside the break room door. "Did you understand the science?" "Most of it." "The part about pressure?" "All of that." She kissed the corner of Lena's photograph and returned it. Outside, the rain had stopped. Families crossed the lot beneath a clear October sky. Marcus stayed until the last chairs were folded. Rachel approached with the annual report. Every facility passed the first review. First reviews are easy. You never let a good moment stay good. Through the glass, Leah locked the council files while Ethan showed a child the uncovered green sensor. "It can stay good," Marcus said. "It just can't stay untested." He placed the report over the production scorecard kept as a reminder, not a target. Ava pressed the gold star flat where one corner had curled from the wall. The chair beneath it was no longer empty. Have you ever seen someone dismissed because others assumed they had no power? Or watched a workplace choose numbers over people? Share your experience in the comments, especially if one quiet decision helped the truth surface. Send this story to someone who believes dignity should never depend on a title, salary, or badge. Stories like Marcus's matter because lasting justice is not only about removing the people who caused harm, it is also about repairing the rules that allowed it. Subscribe for more stories about justice. quiet resilience, accountability, and changes that protect people long after the cameras are gone. Your voice may help another viewer recognize when staying silent is no longer the safest choice.